and welcome to more Hearthstone-related content from Theology Gaming. I'm Zachary Oliver. I like playing Hearthstone a lot, so I'm playing Hearthstone now. Okay, so let me explain this deck that I made. Okay, so Murloc Paladin was a thing, and yeah, it was really interesting. Let's see. The thing about Murlocs is that they are usually pretty bad minions. Like, they all have, just for example, a 0 for a 1/1, a 1/1 for 1, all the Murlocs have +1 attacks. The things that they do have that are good are basically synergies. Like, lots of them come out. But, yeah. The thing about them is that the decks either live or die within, like, turn 5. And for most people, that is just scary. So, let us look at some of the decks we are missing. Okay, so we have lost Puddle Stomper, which was a pretty good card. 2 mana, 3/2. And there was one other card we lost, which is Old Murkai. Oh, Old Murkai. You were the foundation of a deck, a combo deck. Have +1 attack for each other Murloc on the battlefield. Sounds stupid, but when you have something like Every Fin is Awesome, is that the name of the deck? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Any fin can happen. The other Every Fin is Awesome is the other one. Yeah, the Lego. I know. Anyway, summon 7 Murlocs that died this game, which was used for this giant burst combo where you would play exactly 7 Murlocs, including Old Murkai. Then you would play this on turn 10, and your opponent would immediately die. Now that has been stricken from us because, well, Old Murkai is no longer in Standard. Even though he technically was never in any set. He was a reward for obtaining all the Murlocs, which is the first thing I crafted in this game. Fun fact. So, in the meantime, I had to come up with something a little more different than the usual. So, my answer was mostly to come up with this kind of, I don't know if I want to call it mid-range, but it's definitely kind of not an aggro deck. It's mostly using Murloc synergies and cheap buff cards to make a sort of Zoo-esque Paladin deck with Murloc minions. And it doesn't necessarily use Paladin cards all that much, but it does use enough of them that this deck couldn't exist in another class. Case in point, Vilefin Inquisitor. Battlecry, your hero power becomes summon a 1/1 Murloc. That sounds weird, but considering how many different Murloc synergy cards we have in this deck, it's pretty fantastic to have a hero power that's summoning 1/1 Murlocs every turn. And for this deck, you want it to summon 1/1 Murlocs every single turn. The whole point is to just keep laying them on the board, and it doesn't matter how many Murlocs you have. You just want to use it to gain pressure. And anytime you have something on the board, you can use it to clear other minions. At least this is my experience. Because you have Divine Favor, which is the aggro paladin card of choice, you kind of throw out as many Murlocs on the board as possible. If they crowd control them, who cares? Because you're going to draw a bunch of cards that are cheap and can be played together anyway. Okay, so, and we have a Blessing of Might, which is basically used for trading. I thought it would be used for damage, but usually you're not going to use it for damage. It's going to be used to trade up, because the Murlocs are cheap again. And you're kind of just using this to kill something. I was thinking maybe some other cards might be good. I'm not sure. Let's see. Competitive Spirit is in here because you're always going to be playing tons of Murlocs, and if they don't know what you're playing, which in this case they usually don't, they have to either clear your board or ignore the secret, and ignoring the secret in this case is not a good idea for them. I found Competitive Spirit works, but usually only if you get it early in the game. Otherwise, it's just kind of a dead card in your hand, but what are you going to do? You can also play it with Any Fin Can Happen, in case that happens. So we have standard Murloc cards. Murloc Tiny Fin, who ends up being pretty useful on turn 1. We have Grimskill Oracle. That's a standard Murloc card. In this case, it's not used for burst damage, as I've explained earlier. It's used for trading up, and that's kind of the theme I'm going for here. Tidecaller, when a Murloc is summoned, gain +1 attack. I've used this card specifically to counter Priest by playing exactly 3 Murlocs and having it at 4 attack, because a Priest can't actually do anything about a 4 attack minion like that, which has been pretty fabulous. Okay, Vilefin Inquisitor, obviously, if you get this on turn 1, the ability to summon a 1/1 Murloc for most of the game is really scary. Bilefin Tide Hunter. Now, I could have used... what's the other Murloc? The other Murloc Tide Hunter usually is the other card you want in here. Right? Summoning 1/1 Murloc Scout. I'm kind of not sure whether or not I want to get rid of the taunt, but you know what? Let's just change this now. It's exactly the same card, exactly the same mana cost. You just get a taunt. But here you get a Murloc instead. Huh. Well, I guess we'll see how it works. Divine Favor. You know what? Actually, I want to go back to my original idea. The reason why is that I found that the taunt actually helps, and despite the fact that the taunt's not good, and one, it's not a Murloc, it's an ooze, it actually helps your board stay alive a little longer, so that's part of it. Bluegill Warrior obviously is kind of bursty damage and also can be used to clear stuff, especially if you already have Murloc buff cards on the board. Divine Favor is for the draws, because you're going to be playing a lot of cards. Cold Light Oracle's for the draws, because you're going to be playing a lot of cards. I'm not sure if this is good or bad in this deck, but the Murloc synergy means it's not terrible. It could be bad if your opponent draws a lot of good things, but hard to know. Cold Light Seer is fantastic, especially if you get it on turn 3 with a whole board of Murlocs. I've had people concede just by seeing this card because they literally have no means by which to clear the board. I mean, you got a bunch of like 1/1s with 1/3 now, and anything else is getting more powerful as we go, so people just kind of submit. Murloc War Leader, all other Murlocs have +2/+1, which is fantastic, especially for clearing. And Murloc Knight, which is the Paladin card of choice, and summons a random Murloc whenever you use your hero power. So you're getting 2 Murlocs for the price of 1, if in fact things go exactly as they should. Now, I'm not sure about Corrupted Seer. I think it's actually been pretty good, considering this is more of a board control deck than it looks. So it deals 2 damage to all non-Murloc minions. It's a solid minion. I'm not sure if the 2 damage board clear is good, but it keeps your board from dying, which is the important part. And assuming the game does go long enough, which in this case it might, you have anything can happen twice, which sounds absurd. But if you have your entire board cleared and then you play this, it's scary. And unless you're playing an ultra high control deck, anything can happen, can win you the game several times over. Anyway, I'm not sure about how viable it is, but I guess we will see. Alright, let's see this. And if I play poorly, which is very well possible, considering, we'll see. Regardless, it's a fun deck to play. I'm not making any claims that it's a 100% win rate or something or other. I just like making weird decks. And this is definitely a weird one. I also like the fact that you can just like play stuff all the time. Anytime. Is this mid-range? Alright. So, I don't need the buff card and I just need that. I'm trying to get the Vilefin as quickly as I can. No Vilefin, oh well. Do I want to play this already? Yeah, I'm not sure. I probably should have played Competitive Spirit. I don't know. Assuming the Murlocs live, which would be great. Oh, yes, fantastic. Yeah! Fine. Turned out everything worked out. Now we play Divine Favor next turn, because he has way too many cards. Alright, so let us figure out what he's playing right here. Attack for... yeah. I imagine it's Frost Trap again, but you know what? Okay, Explosive Trap. There. Oh yeah, additional note. If you do end up having the Murloc hero power thing, you're actually okay, because they are not summoned. It says summon 7 Murlocs that died this game, so they never get generated by any fin can happen. Just FYI. Okay. Ooh, that's fun. And I want to draw some cards. Okay, probably best thing to do is clear. See, I told you this is more mid-rangey. Because people are expecting, like, you know, total Murloc rush sort of stuff. Never happens. Okay, so here we want to... let's see. Thinking. So I can play this. I can play this. I don't think the hunters have many crowd control options, do they? I don't think they do. Okay, well, he's probably going to regret that turn right about now. Okay, so I play this. And then I play that. Man, aren't you just hyper curious what his plan is here? Kill that. Well, it's fine. Alright, so, let's see. Kill this. Kill this. Attack face. I win. So yeah, sometimes you just never get to turn 10. Well played, sir. Well played. You didn't expect a Murloc Paladin deck, so... yeah. See, sometimes it just works. I don't know what happens. People, you know what? People are expecting an aggro Murloc deck, which is like traditionally how they work, but this one, not so much. If you can get a beneficial trade, which you almost always can in this deck for some reason, you should take it. Because all your minions cost like nothing. Maybe I should use Abusive Sergeants and Dark Iron Dwarves. I'm not sure. I guess I'll have to experiment with that. But it seems like the Murloc synergy is good enough that you usually don't have much of a problem. Alright, another one. Come on, let's get one where we lose. Heavy control deck. I played a control priest. I still won because I had 2 any fins at the end, so. I will fight with honor. Yeah, that's not a great opener. The mulligans are still a mystery to me, but primarily you don't want any of your high cost cards. Oh, okay. That's good. I'm okay with that. I bet you this is mid-range shaman, so that's not going to be awesome. It's not going to be awesome at all. Ooh, okay. Yay! What does a shaman do on turn 1? Gives me a favorable trade for reasons that I don't quite understand. The reason why I did that is that he can't use Lightning Storm this turn because he already overloaded himself like an idiot. He figured I was just going to do the traditional Murloc thing, which is like kill stuff fast. But nope, didn't happen. Okay, so I play this. He'll probably play Lightning Storm this turn, which is fine, because these Murlocs have gotten more than their value. Okay. Let's see. See, now we can play this and trade evenly with both. That's actually really fantastic. That's probably what I'm going to do. Okay, so... Yep. And then play this, and play this, just in case. So yeah, this weird control-ish Murloc hybrid kind of takes people off guard, it appears. Now, if he Lightning Storms here, it's not great. But he already overloaded himself, so he's going to overload himself again. Does not seem like a great move. And, yeah, there he goes. Oh, boy. Well, bet he didn't like that. That turn was not so great for him. How many cards do he have? 6? I can't hero power yet, but you know what? That's fine. One Lightning Storm kills everything, but that's why we have Divine Favor number 2. I'm baffled. How does this, why is this working? It's working so well. Everything is confusing. Okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to stop my winning streak. You kind of seen how the deck works. It can be rushy, but in a control situation, it can also be a long range deck. I mean, we're going to like turn 8, 9, at least. And I've gone to turn 10, but maybe I'll play more games of this on a stream or something. But I really enjoy it, and I'm not sure how it could be improved, but if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. That would be great. Because I would like to see this deck see more play, and maybe you will enjoy it too. I don't think it's that expensive to craft, is it? Let's see. So we got a bunch. We have this. We have this. We got a rare. We got 2 rares. We got 2 epics. Yeah, you kind of need this sometimes. I was lucky, but sometimes you just need to keep generating them. Another rare, and 2 epics. Well, there is no legendaries in this deck, so it should be relatively cheap to craft if, in fact, you want to try this out. Alright, so I will see you guys later. Bye!